you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious. China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot. If you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated is a missile with all the warheads. We call it 61 because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson.
Move by the president has worried nuclear weapons experts who are concerned it could drag us into a new global arms race. Here's what you need to know.
We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing, but with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
President Trump announced that he wants the Pentagon to immediately begin testing nuclear weapons again, the first time that we'll have done so in 30 years. So reactions to the president's announcement are mixed. On one hand, scientists want this data. They want to be able to understand exactly how the nuclear warhead will explode since it's been so long. On the other hand, the U.S. detonating a nuclear weapon carries far greater significance than just its scientific value. Trump's comments drew immediate concern from Russia and China, and international scientists are worried that this might draw us into a new arms race. So we stopped testing in 1992 at the end of the Cold War, as both the U.S. and Russia started to make efforts not only to reduce their stockpile, but to be more transparent with each other and avoid another nuclear war.
We have agreed to eliminate the world's most dangerous weapons and dramatically reduce our total strategic nuclear weapons.
Trump has said that Russia has also already conducted tests, so why shouldn't the U.S. as well? What Russia has said is they are testing components of the missiles, just like we do, the rockets, the missile bodies, but not actually the core nuclear material that would cause such a deadly explosion. Experts I've talked to have said it will take years, not weeks, not days, but years to get a weapon ready for testing. So President Trump's announcement that he wants these tests to restart has another hurdle too. The thousands of employees who are actually responsible for handling these weapons, for making sure they're modernized, making sure they're safe, have been furloughed due.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world English calls God. Bahashem, which means in the name. Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation, and that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic this morning is the talk of war, all right? Testing nukes and threatening or retaliating if one does so, okay? Now, the first clip we had of China telling America that if they fire, they won't get a second shot, okay? So China is no longer that, country where you could just do whatever you want, all right? They've technology have, if not succeeded or passed America, is right there at the level of America, all right? And then alongside with Russia, the bear, America ain't looking so big and bad anymore, man, okay? America isn't looking so big and bad anymore, all right? Because what did China say? China said that they have a missile named 61 that has 60 warheads and one hydrogen bomb, all right, which is an ICBM that can get anywhere on Earth in 20 minutes, okay? So you know they got the capability, all right? The Lord is putting the spirit on these kings to get ready for war, all right? But as of now, it's just rumors, okay? But everything is looking like they get ready to come to a head, but we have to wait for that mark of the beast, all right? And the mark of the beast look like it's coming pretty soon, all right? So we could potentially be in World War III by the end of this term, okay? By the end of this presidential term of Donald J. Trump, we could potentially be out of here, Lord willing, Albaratazar, all right? The mark of the beast could be made mandatory within weeks or months. Then World War III could pop off, and then we up out of here, okay? So it says, Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See, we're hearing the rumors of wars right now, all right? We got this type of technology. We got that type of technology. We testing this, we testing that. See, they just filling each other out right now, okay? But we won't get the full frontal of it until that mark of the beast is made mandatory, all right? And then that's when all hell is going to break loose. That's when all-out war is going to take place, in the sense that missiles and everything else will be exchanged between countries, man. World War III, all right? And then that's when the elect will be delivered. So right now, although the stakes seem very high as how they are talking, it's just rumors right now, okay? Now, once that mark of the beast is made mandatory, all bets are off then, okay? World War III is on the table. So it says, see that you be not troubled. See, this is why prophecy comes into place, okay? Because as of right now, we know ain't going to be no missiles fired over here to America, or America's going to fire missiles over there until what? That microchip is made mandatory. Then that's when we get the good talking going. Then we get the actions put alongside that good talking. It says, see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See? So all this talking is to set the stage, because once that chip is made mandatory, then these words are going to be put into actions, okay? This is the book of Isaiah 54 and verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. See? So the Lord didn't give these scientists this knowledge to create these instruments of destruction for nothing. They're going to be used, all right? They're going to be used in World War III, all right? But as of right now, we have to wait for the microchip to be made mandatory, all right? And we're coming up on that, all right? Lord willing, Albarataz, our Father will, we're coming up on that, all right? That's why we got to stay locked in, all right? And continue to do what's asked of us from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right? This is Joel, is it 3? This is Joel 3 and 9. It reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. This is what's going on right now. War is getting ready to be prepared. Or should I say war is being prepared. All right? It's just a matter of time when they come forth with that microchip. All right? That's when it's going full blown. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. See? So this is what's taking place. This is what's getting ready to take place. It says, beat your plowshares into swords, right? So now we see in these countries that was once known for agriculture catching up with the technology of those such as America. All right. So now China is not to be taken lightly or slept on, okay? Because with their reverse engineering and their technology, they have turned their plowshares into swords to get ready for what? This third woe or World War III. It says, in your pruning hooks, which is another agriculture tool, into spears, which is another tool for war. It says, let the weak say I am strong. And you heard what China said. Straight up and down told America what it is. All right. Now you can say that they bluffing, but it's gonna be repercussions. All right. Soon as that microchip is made mandatory, China ain't gonna be bluffing alongside with Russia, okay? And other nations too. All of these nations that got missiles are going to eventually turn and burn this whore, all right? Including the 10 horns, okay? Because essentially the small hats, the 1948ers, are going to cause America to get into this third world war, and then that's going to be it, okay? So we're very close, but we still have to wait for prophecy, okay? Prophecy dictates everything, all right? The microchip must be made mandatory, and then that's when we get the good talking going on. That's when the action is going to start manifesting, all right? That's when the missiles are going to come, all right? That's when the elect will be delivered out of here in America and elsewhere, but majority is going to be delivered out of here in the United States of America, all right? Because this place will be destroyed utterly, burned, all right? So let's finish up and close out with 1 Peter 5 and 8. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. See, although that's some good sounding words and talking, we know it's not time just yet, all right? Yeah, they can be setting the stage, but they're not going to exchange missiles until that microchip be made mandatory, all right? And it ain't going to be too much long after that microchip is made mandatory, probably within, hours, days, weeks, all right? It ain't going to be no years, all right? It's going to come quick, all right? As soon as that microchip is made mandatory, it's going to come quick. And America's going to be through in an hour, as it says in Revelation 18. So it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. See? So we know it's just talk, it's just rumors right now, but eventually it's going to come to pass once that chip is made mandatory, all right? And that's what we're waiting on. Albaratazar, we endure to the end, okay? So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.